Welcome to Module 2 of Foundations Leader Orientation. Welcome to PTA. Let's continue our PTA journey with some words from Texas PTA President Lisa Holbrook.
As Texas PTA President, I enjoy the privilege of talking with parents, educators, and community leaders all across the state. These conversations have provided me with the opportunity to share our rich history of working to improve education for our students and our legacy of engaging parents and families in being vocal advocates for every child. Your PTA plays a vital role in a nationwide movement of families and schools, nearly 4 million strong, who are working to ensure that our children have the resources they need for a quality education and successful future. Having a PTA on your campus connects you to a network of thousands of local PTAs in Texas and a support structure that's focused on helping your PTA to become an effective voice in your community. So why PTA? PTA is the only choice that brings families together in support of their local school and also connects them with millions of other PTA members to be the champion for every child with one voice.
The common bond among all PTAs can be found in our purposes. Listed on the screen are the purposes of PTA that can be found on our website at txpta.org and in the local PTA bylaws. A PTA's programs and activities should always be aligned with these purposes. You'll find that they are very closely aligned with our 3 founding principles of parent education, family engagement, and advocacy.
If you look at the purposes of PTA, there's nothing about dollars and cents. There's nothing about fundraising. You need to set goals. And it needs to not be about what we can buy necessarily, but what difference we can make. And from year to year, that list of the differences you make in the lives of the parents, the teachers, the students on the campus needs to grow. It doesn't need to stagnate or it doesn't need to decrease.
By being involved in PTA, you're affecting all of the children in your school. You're helping their educations, and not just their educations, but their home life, their future. You know, when I talk to new PTA leaders, I tell them, especially at the elementary school, a lot of times it's all about the parties and it's all about the little things that, you know, you're going through with elementary kids. And I always remind the leaders that, you know, you're the foundation, you're starting this, and you're making a difference in these kids' lives that is not only going to make a difference today, it's going to make a difference in 12 years when they're walking across that stage.
It takes that family being involved, being engaged, being empowered in the education of their child. And so for there to be good results with student success, whole child, good results. They're physically fit, they're healthy, they are academically successful. It takes the family being engaged in what's going on at that campus to make a difference. And so absolutely that is one of our core purposes.
PTA is a grassroots association where our members guide our efforts at every level. Local PTAs are the foundation of our association, and whether we are working at the local, council, state, or national level, we're all working together to support the work of our members. Local PTAs are self-governing nonprofit associations that have their own tax identification number and their own unique governing documents such as bylaws and standing rules. Membership is open to all, and PTAs are non-commercial, non-sectarian, and nonpartisan. Here are some of our leaders talking about these basic tenets of PTA.
PTA is a business. Granted, it's a business with a mission, so it's extremely important that our local officers conduct the business with integrity and ethics, because we answer not only to the IRS, which can basically take our tax exemption away, but we are responsible to our members who pay dues and hold us accountable for making good decisions with regard to our local PTA business.
We're just custodians of what our PTA is doing. Our membership is really who directs us and tells us what we need to be doing. So if you're very transparent and you work with your membership, they are your biggest advocate as far as your PTA.
Sometimes people want to do it their way. Well, you can do things with your touch, but you have to look at the background and the bylaws and the history of PTA. Those are important.
I always tell people, the bylaws are your friend. Don't be afraid of them. Know what they say. It solves a lot of arguments because it's right there in black and white, and so you don't have to get into any discussion about it because it's already in print, so let it be your friend. Go and read them, and then just follow it, and it makes it so much easier.
I think when you have those documents that we as a PTA have, whether they are our own documents, our resource guides, our bylaws, those documents hold us to a level where we can have those to lead us and know that we're doing what's right. We're doing it the right way.
It's just the little extra things in there to keep you out of trouble, because I have seen that where people didn't realize that you needed to be following this law or this regulation because nobody's told them. And I think that's a benefit of PTA, in that we're going to go ahead and tell you up front what are the laws, what are the regulations that we've got to follow, and we've put it in writing for you, so there's not any question about that. So I think it's a big help to have somebody who've done all the legwork for you, because we're not all lawyers and we can't all be up on nonprofit rules, and it's nice that there's somebody there to help us do that.
A lot of times everyone focuses on all the legal aspects that we have to do, and it's just for everyone's protection, and it's just so that the PTA will run smoothly, and it all comes back to when you have a good running PTA that's doing the things they need to do, you're affecting the kids and the teachers and the school, and it's all positive.
Council PTAs and field service representatives serve as the first line of support for our local PTAs. They provide training, share best practices, and promote programs available through Texas PTA or National PTA. They're often a great ear to listen or a helping hand. Both council PTAs and field service representatives provide volunteer leaders a chance to collaborate, support, and exchange ideas with other leaders. Let's hear how volunteers in the field have taken advantage of this network.
If I were at a local PTA and I only had someone in Austin to call, or someone in Lubbock, or someone across the state who was on the state board of directors, there wouldn't be an understanding of what's happening at my home, in my community.
When I joined PTA and became a leader in PTA, that I found so unique and so rewarding was because if I did have a question about something that went on, there was always someone that I could go to get the answer. And if that person couldn't answer the question, they always knew somebody that could.
It has been so fun for me to be able to receive those phone calls and to hear them say, "Oh, I'm so glad I had somebody to call. I just needed somebody to talk to." And that makes me feel good, but then now they know they've got a friend, and now once I've made that connection with them, they don't seem to hesitate to call me the next time.
It was wonderful because I realized that I didn't really know how to be a president. I didn't really know how to be a treasurer. It really came down to going to those workshops and learning some of the laws that had to go along with charitable organizations, 501c3, and all those new things that have come up. My goodness, I wouldn't even know where to begin now unless I went to a treasurer's workshop.
A lot of times people will come to the leader orientation training and they think they're going to learn about their job, and it's so different because we're talking structure pretty much. I mean, we do give some touch on some things, but the more detailed is in the basics. The basic series is excellent and again can go through a whole council for them to train every secretary in the group. Or down to an individual training.
I had support from knowledgeable people that were right there, just a phone call away or an email away. And without that, I'm not sure that I would have been quite so bold in some of the areas I'm not as comfortable in.
The number one priority at any level of PTA is to support the work of our members and volunteers at the local campus. And this is especially true at the state level. It's the innovation and dedication of our local PTAs that has allowed Texas PTA to be successful for more than 100 years.
When a member joins your local PTA, they also become a member of Texas PTA, the second largest PTA in the nation with more than 500,000 members. Texas PTA works to provide support to each and every one of our local and council PTAs. We grant automatic 501c3 status to all PTAs in good standing. We host training opportunities, such as Launch Summer Leadership Seminar, held each July. And we offer a variety of programs and a vast network of both board and staff to help leaders and members in need. Texas PTA hosts our annual meeting in July of each year in conjunction with Launch Summer Leadership Seminar. At the annual meeting, member delegates vote on business items such as legislative positions and resolutions, bylaw amendments to the Texas PTA bylaws, and in even-numbered years, member delegates elect the Texas PTA State Board of Directors. The Texas PTA Board of Directors consists of 15 volunteers just like you, 8 officers, and 7 directors at large, who work closely together with the staff to implement the strategic plan adopted by the Board of Directors. The Texas PTA staff consists of 4 departments: the communications team, the member services team, finance, and the programs and resource development team. Texas PTA is one of the few states in the nation that has a staff to help support the work of the volunteer. In looking at each of our teams, the communications team publishes The Voice, our online quarterly publication full of good resources for parents on pressing issues facing families today. They also publish some targeted e-publications for Healthy Lifestyles chairs, or perhaps our Under the Dome newsletter for advocacy efforts, or even our Treasurer's Corner newsletter. They maintain the Texas PTA website and also distribute educational resources. Our member services team has a lot of contact with our local and council leaders. They're tasked with tracking membership rosters and dues, being innovative in creating new member recruitment strategies, answering questions related to PTA's bylaws and standing rules, and offering general assistance to PTA leaders. Our finance team creates and manages the Texas PTA annual budget. They also work with local and council leaders when questions arise around the IRS Form 990 and state sales tax filings. Our programs and resources team, they lead our efforts for Launch Summer Leadership Seminar and familiar programs such as Ready, Set, Achieve, parent education programs, Reflections, Schools of Excellence, Camp Just Imagine, and Emerging Leader Academy, just to name a few.
As a local leader, you have access to the Texas PTA board and staff. We receive numerous phone calls in the member services department on a daily basis. We actually consider ourselves the customer service department. We're here to make sure that you as a leader are successful. When we don't know the answer, we'll find it for you. We'll work with you to help you make sure that you are successful in leading your PTA.
Even after the training session is over or this particular workshop is over, there is someone standing right behind you, ready to catch you if you fall, but more importantly, ready to answer the phone or email to keep you from falling and answer those questions as you go, because there's no way you can learn your entire job in one workshop. Things are going to come up that aren't in writing.
You're not alone. This is one of the benefits of being part of a statewide and national organization. First thing you can do, go to the website at any time, day or night. Second thing, call Texas PTA. We have an enormous, fantastic infrastructure set up of volunteers and staff that are there with you. Just to have someone listen to you, we've been there, we've done that, we will be there for you.
Our founding association, National PTA, is headquartered in Alexandria, Virginia. National PTA may be best known for its signature programs of Reflections and Schools of Excellence. They publish their own online magazine, Our Children, and other educational resources for parents and leaders. Visit pta.org for more information about National PTA.
As a PTA leader, you have access to a significant network of resources and support. I hope you will take a moment to connect with your council PTA or field service representative and begin to build those relationships that can make your work in PTA both rewarding and successful. I encourage you to contact the Texas PTA State Office or visit the website to learn what programs and assistance may be available for you and your PTA. On behalf of the Texas PTA Board of Directors and staff, I want to thank you again for choosing PTA and your decision to become a leader on your campus. Remember, we are here to support you, and we are working to help your PTA back the future of your students.